Good evening. My name is Sandeep Pagale and welcome to my presentation. Thank you for inviting me to present on living with major depression, a topic of concern for many individuals and family in our communities and a significant issue in public health and care provisions. The main aim of this presentation is to discuss about the depression, the physical, psychological, and the social challenges faced by the depression person in their daily life, and recovery-oriented nursing intervention and assessment associated with depression. I will also discuss how Beyond Blue provides the service in Australia to improve the care and reduce the impact in the mental illness person. So how common is depression? Every day, people feel sad or down from the time to time, but this doesn't necessarily mean they are depressed. So depression is a seriously feeling of sadness, hopelessness, and helplessness. So the indication of the depression can significantly affect our life, long-term physical and mental well-being, work and relationships. However, depression is treatable and can manage the symptoms of depression through the various nursing, medical, and the psychological approach. So let's start with the incidents of the depressions. The Australian Institute of Health and Welfare Burden of Disease stated that $10.6 billion was spent on mental health related service in Australia, including depression during the year 2017 and 18. And it is the #1 cause of non-fatal disability in Australia, which represents 23%. This means that an average people with depression live with this disability. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, depression is the third 13%, which is 13% in the top range, highest burden of all diseases in Australia, and Department of Health report estimated that approximately just 1 in 10, which is 10.4% having a depression. And also the female had a depression or feeling a depression at a higher rate than the male. The female represent the 11.6% compared with the male, which is 9.1% respectively. Similarly, due to the increased level of stigma and the discrimination, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, which is also known as LGBTI, youth face particularly challenges in society. So 24.4% of the LGBTI people aged 16 and over encounter the more significant level of depression, and the World Health Organization estimate that depression will be the #1 health concern in the both developed and developing countries by 2030. So social determinant of mental health, like a poor economic and social factor such as financial status, employment, so education, and social connectedness as a significant contributing factor for depression. So having a depression more for the long period, reduce the interest in pleasure, significant weight loss or gain, insomnia, and the feeling of worthless are some of the sign of the depression. So depressed person always feel that something terrible is going to happen, and that could bring a lots of physical changes in their daily life, such as having a poor appetite, may lose their weight, and increase in need may gain their weight. As a result, they usually do not have enough energy to do things, and they may stay in the bed for the whole day, and this contribute to chance of having health related issues like a headache, migraines, pain, and irritable bowel syndromes. So insomnia makes the persons feel anxious, tired, and stressed. So health sleep problems can affect daily activities like work, family care, physical exercise, and intellectual activity. Chung stated that sleep and wakefulness are controlled by the various neurotransmitter signals in the brain, and food and medication that alter the balance of these signals. So the person with depression is generally deficient in speech production, and their speech may be logically abnormal, slow emotional reactions, and slow physical response. And they will also have a poor concentration, and they will have a poor memory, and that will affect their abilities to focus. As a result, they will discriminate in the community. People will discriminate them, and this may reduce the lack of motivation and self-esteem and increase the violence and suicidal threat to the depressive person in their daily life. Also, the rapid changes in their perspective will also create a lots of conflict between them and their family and friends. This could bring a lot of stresses, which is contribute to isolate them or reduce the engagement with the engagement and withdraw from the social activity. They also neglect their interests and hobbies. Kokaro stated that the sadness and the hopelessness for a more long period of time attract the negative emotion, and they affect the person's lifestyles and abilities. If person suffer from the depression, they feel low with the mood and they will have no hope in their future. They will have a lack of interest. They will feel emptiness at all the time. They will have a low self-interest, and as a result, they feel guilty at all the time. As a result, negative, suicidal, and self-harm threat will be arises in their daily lives. So let's talk about the how recovery-oriented assessment and nursing intervention works. The recovery model of the care need to be considered when nurse respond to the person who suffer from the depression. The nursing assessment identifies the presenting problems, strength, health history, and risks, and formulate the care goals according to that. So therapeutic relationship is the heart of that evaluation, and the high standard of care can be achieved by the quality relationship between the healthcare professional, client, and their family. So assessments will also be taken in the privately by promoting confidentiality, and the person should know how the evaluation will occur. As a graduate nurse, we need to establish the really good therapeutic relationship with the person we are assessing. This relationship will assist with problem solving, improving the quality of life, and build the trust to engage in the treatment and care. It also helps to identify the need of the person so that appropriate nursing intervention, supports, and service we can provide based on their needs. As a graduate nurse, we need to consider our communication skills, including verbal and non-verbal, so that we get the information as much as possible through the verbal and non-verbal method, through the body language, and so that we can treat accordingly. Moreover, the individuals should be listened to it, and their decision must be respected. Also, we have to provide a hope to them so that they will enhance their capabilities. They will engage with their daily activities. Also, we have to promote the positive health pattern to them, including good exercise, good sleep, and educate the clients and families. This assists client to achieve their goals, enhance their abilities, and develop the confidence. And their family and carers also need to be given appropriate information so that they will understand what is happening to them. This will empower the person to receive the culturally safe care. And many antidepressant medication are using to treat depression and have a side effect, and a person may elect not to take this medication. As a graduate nurse, we need to discuss the positive and negative part of the drug with the person to choose and encourage them to seek help if they need. This will provide the routine nursing care and improve the client's self-esteemness, confidence, strength, and safety. So the above discussion explore their capabilities, talent, coping skill to the therapeutic relationship, and which enable them to take a responsibility of themselves. They will increase the self-esteemness in themselves, and the road of recovery will be achieved through the involvement with them. So let's talk about the Beyond Blue. The current National Depression Program aims to raise the public response. Beyond Blue was established in 2000 to actively listen and provide respectful information and support based on the mental health needs of the people living in Australia. They provide equitable, safe, affordable, and easy access to correct type of support at the right time. They also analyze the cause of depression and drives evidence-based treatment and the arrangement that improves the lives. Their mix of knowledge in clinical management with the advanced studies generate innovative and more practical policies and interpret experimenting finding into convenient evidence-based clinical practice that's concentrate on better prevention, early intervention, treatment, and the recovery. They also encourage better mental health nationally through their clinical approved education setting, workplace, community, and neighborhood programs. This helps keep a person with the depression engaged with their friends, family, community, and employment, and decrease the rate of mental illness, and decrease the rate of suicide, and reduce the stigma, and empower all the people to live the most mentally healthy lives possible. So let's conclude what we have discussed today. So depression is a mental illness of the concern, especially among young Australian adults. The economic cost of the mental illness, including depression in the community, are getting higher and higher each year. So nurses need to be aware of the various recovery and focus model and assessment and intervention. We have to have active listening skills, and we have to provide the service without any judgmental and the bias, and the collaboration between the wide range of Australian agencies, expert may reduce the impact of mental illness. And everyone experiencing the mental illness can live the rewarding life through this process. This is the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.